Okay, so Shane here, daily-astrocat.com, and today is Friday, Black Friday for some people, right? And it is the moon's going to be in Pisces all day long. Got some astrology here for you. Now that the holiday is over, I hope it was successful. I hope you had a great time, okay? It's time for a bit of reflection, okay? It's the second quarter moon. We call that report card day, right? Now, we're doing, how are we doing with our Scorpio matters, right? Our intentions that we had set with that new moon. You know, chances are they may be just a little bit off track because we've got some interesting lunar action going on here. We've got squares with both the sun and the moon. We've got the moon being square, that as well. And then we have Venus somewhere, right? Venus is going to be in Scorpio, and where she's at with the moon, it's just, you know, the moon being in Pisces, that would be a natural trine, right? So home and relationships are feeling really good. Actions, not so much, but, you know, let's just think about where we're going to be going. Mercury's going to be our state of mind, and right now it's retrograde. It's going to be direct tomorrow, so it's slowing down. So, you know, we're getting those processes where we're able to focus on that stuff. So we've got that slowing down. Look, how do we go about filling out a report card? Well, we got to be honest with ourselves, right? Venus is a state of our romantic stuff and sometimes creativity, right? And, you know, Mars is where we got that effort going. And the moon is a place where we're at emotionally and whether or not we're in a safe place. Okay, today is one of delays, deferrals, and just saying, F this, okay? No. Right? Hybrid work day, if you're working, it's kind of dreadful. If you're not working and you're trying to go out somewhere and get a deal or something like that, equally dreadful. If you're staying at home, you know, that could be dreadful too. You might end up eating all your leftovers all in one day. Just don't know. Now, don't do it. Yesterday was enough. Honestly, it was for me. So, look, do what's necessary and not one stitch more. All right? That's how we're going to get through it. There's some creative energy here, but it's going to be difficult to see it through because of outside pressures. Travel, that's also going to be difficult today. Thank the fact that Mercury is still retrograde for that one. And be careful in shopping areas, okay? A lot of people out there just not paying attention. And today's keyword is unintended. All right. The color is a pale blue gemstone. So, look, the Sagittarius spirit is one of boundless adventure, right? Today, that adventure creeps along at about 15 miles an hour. You'd be better off taking in the Black Friday football games for all I know at this rate. We have different ideas of what it is and what we should, and you know, what it is, what we should be doing, and what we need to do, okay? So think about this. There's different ideas about what we think we should be doing and actually what we need to do, all right? Don't confuse the two. Look, that football game sounds like about the perfect middle ground, right? It's like, yep, you're not going to go shopping. You're just going to sit at home, watch this stuff. No. Okay, not really, because I don't do that. But it's an immersive experience that is far enough away, right? So that's how it gets that little bit of adventure. It's a vicarious adventure, if that, right? And look, it's you're going to weigh the possibilities of what you would like to accomplish today, when the full moon is in Gemini next week. Okay, so think about that. Think about what you want to accomplish today and put it in terms of that full moon completion as far as communication and logical ability and getting ready to move back to that Scorpio-season of intention and power, okay? The moon in Pisces has that square mutable energy going on. What's square mutable energy, Shane? Well, it's because Pisces is a mutable sign, and Mars is in Sagittarius, and that's also a mutable sign. So mutable energy is energy that's it's a transition, right? It's easygoing. It understands that it has to change. It has to get into the next season. So when we have that mutable square, there's two different opinions of how to do something, both sides can be valid, and both sides can actually combine and make something more adaptable, because that's what Mutable is really about. It's about adaptability and how we can see one problem as it's presented, and then think of an alternative solution, being able to take in the other focal point of it and combine the two of them into something that's very much doable and better in the long run. All right? Not saying that mutable signs are necessarily better, but they're better at coming to that middle ground and being where they can work together. All right? Even when they're opposing or in a square, in a difficult aspect. 90-degree square, the most difficult aspect there is. Opposition, pretty difficult too. But they work in tandem with each other because they're mutable. All right? They can change. They can flow. They can go back and forth. It's not like trying to get a Scorpio to do something that a Taurus wants it to do. That's not going to happen, right? All right. So, look, there's a cautious wait-and-see attitude, okay? Because if we went all in, what would happen if our hearts were broken, right? What would happen? You don't want to do that. Look, the sense of security here with Saturn turning direct in Pisces, there is a sense of security there. This is going to mitigate the scattered energy of Mars, all right? And that's going to happen by the time the full moon in Gemini. Now, Mercury's direct tomorrow. Use tonight to focus on creative projects and with an eye towards expansion and growth. All right, so check this out. In 1907, the scrap metal dealer named Louis B. Mayer opens his first theater in Haverhill, Massachusetts. It's from scrap dealer to MGM, the lion, right? Roar. All right. And John Wesley Hyatt is our birthday today. He's born in 1837. He's an American inventor, died in 1920, who simplified the production of celluloid. Okay, nitrocellulose, make films out of it. He actually did it to made this stuff harder because it was a replacement for ivory, okay, and in the manufacture of billiard balls. Now, if you think it's just about billiard balls or celluloid, you'd be mistaken. He's born in Starkey, New York, okay, and he's known for that, improving that production, but he had nearly 238 patents to his credit, including improvements to sugarcane mills and water filtration devices. And that's all I have for you. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for coming by. I appreciate and love every single one of you. Let's recap. Our color is a pale blue gemstone, and the keyword is unintended. And that's all I have for you. So I intend for you to be liking and sharing and following this video. Perfect. That's my goal. The unintended result of that would be growth. If you did a lot of it, that would be explosive growth, Sagittarius. Yep, that's where we're headed. Okay, that's all I have for you. Today's a 4. Happy astrocatting.